has a certain type of fucking legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? Greetings from Podcastville. The Church of What's Happening Now is brought to you by hymns4hymns.com. Again, the church is brought to you by 4hymns.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skin care, and sexual wellness for men. Let me tell you something. At least 70% of men lose their hair by the age of 35. The thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you got than to replace the hair you lost, all right? Let's do this. What I'm going to do for you is tremendous, all right? Because for hymns.com, like I said, is a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness. We connect you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss without having to break the bank. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? Well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. FDA-approved prescription solutions backed by science. I'm going to tell you something. My listeners, the family, the church family, I'm going to give you a trial month. You're starting to lose your hair. Listen, fuck that shit. You're starting to lose their hair. Forget about that. I'm going to give you a trial month of hymns for $5 today, right now, while supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost you hundreds of dollars if you went to a doctor. But no, or a pharmacy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give my family, the church, right now, a trial month of hymns for just $5 today. Go 4hymns.com/Joey. Go to 4hymns.com/Joey. That's 4hymns.com/Joey. This is the way to go. Number 2, you've heard me talk about MeUndies for 6 years now. The fun, they're comfy undies that feel as good as they look. They're comfortable. They grab your little nutsack. Everything is nice and dry. Tremendous, you understand me? You know I wear MeUndies when I go to jiu-jitsu, whether I go to ballet, whether I go to the track. In the summer heat, I got MeUndies on. You know why? Because it keeps the moisture out and it kees the nutsack nice and dry. Sometimes you take a pee, you tap the helmet, a little pee stays on your helmet. It causes 1,000 things. Not with MeUndies. Why? Because of their soft cotton fabric that nobody else got. You understand me? So go to MeUndies.com right now, and I'm going to get you 15% off your first pair with free shipping and 100% money-back satisfaction guarantee. Go to MeUndies.com right now /Joey. Again, that's MeUndies.com /Joey for the best pair of underwear you're ever going to have. Kick this motherfucking muley. That means I want you to call me Poppy. That's like telling you I love it when you call me Big Papa, only in Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
We got Eric Rocha in the house. You got my main man, Syatt. You're asking me, Joey, who the fuck is Eric Rocha? We're going to find out right now, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why I have him on the podcast. What's happening, Lee? You good? You're solid?
I'm doing great, yeah.
Beautiful. It's been a great week so far. Eric, what's happening, brother?
Not much, man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much. This is fucking awesome.
We're going to tell the story slowly. We're going to get into this. I want to introduce you to the world. I saw you singing for the choir, and I thought you were a fucking savage. I'm like, this kid's a fucking savage. Nobody's seen this fucking kid. And when I did my Netflix thing up at the store, I had you come up that Sunday night, and you leveled them with Lee. And there's a lot of topics, I'm old, Eric. I'm getting old, and I have a lot on my mind, and I forget things, and I digest things a lot differently than most people. When Lee says something to me, I'll come back with a rebuttal to him 2 weeks later, and he'll go like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'll go, "That thing you said that night, I totally agree with you. I'm the one that fucked up." I'm one of those people that always will come to you and you'll go, "What the fuck? That was 2 weeks ago. Why'd you ask me about that now?" Because I processed it at 4 a.m. one night in a dream. And I woke up and said, why would fucking Eric say something like this? Now, how long have you been doing comedy for?
5 years. 5, yeah. In April it was 5.
Where'd you start?
I did, let me see, in New York, I worked for Caroline's literally like 2 days. And then I couldn't fucking do it. I still have a check for $60 that I never fucking picked up. Never.
Were you a doorman?
I was answering the phones. Yep, that was how I got to meet Mooney. That was how I was answering phones, and that his ticket sales it was impossible to keep up with. So you would just answer the phone, you'd be like, "Thank you for calling Caroline's," and then you, "Please hold." And what would happen was you had to screen the calls, so you would get a shit ton of people calling for Paul Mooney, But then every once in a while, that guy's wife would fucking sneak through, and you had to catch it, or else you put it through, and you were fucked.
No, whoa. Let's catch back to now. Where are you originally from? Where'd you grow up?
Colorado.
What part of Colorado?
It's northeast, the Plains area, like fucking farm town. You remember Greeley?
Greeley.
It's like an hour from that.
So an hour north of Greeley.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy. Greeley smells so bad. Get closer to the mic. Get closer to the mic like it's Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Greeley. Greeley was my second comedy gig.
Really?
Second comedy gig at the longest running one-nighter in history. One of the top 5 longest lasting one-nighters in history.
Fuck.
Because I heard it was still running up to a couple of years ago. And it was there 10 years before I started.
Jesus.
So that's 30-something years. It was a one-nighter booked by a guy named Bill Bauer on Thursday nights who ran a motorcycle shop.
Every Thursday?
Every Thursday.
Wow.
And the ceiling was real low. So if you jumped, you'd bang your head on the ceiling. The place was great. It was like, they had like pictures of like singers behind you. The ugliest artist, like the worst artist in the world, was a picture of Jimi Hendrix. There was a picture of Janis Joplin. And there was a picture of Bob Marley behind you when you did comedy.
How were the audiences there?
Fucking great. It's a college town. On top of that, it's where the Broncos practice that do spring training. Or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we used to go every year. My mom was a huge fucking Broncos fan. My uncles hated them, but mom loved them. We'd go every summer.
So now you're in Greeley, Colorado, let's assume. How old were you till you stayed in Colorado?
I moved to New York when I was 18.
What made you want to move to New York out of college? Now you graduated in high school. Was comedy on the radar at 18?
No, to be honest. I got into a conservatory in New York because I wanted to do theater.
Okay.
I was a theater nerd. So I went there and I loved it. I loved the theater and just living in New York. I lived there for like 4 years and just pounding the pavement, auditions and shit like that. But then comedy was always something in my life. Like I was raised by my grandpa and I found his Richard Pryor tapes. And when I found those, it was like something forbidden. I fucking loved it. That was the introduction into comedy.
Was it tapes, albums, CDs?
It was Here and Now. I remember that one. It was Here and Now, and it was Greatest Hits.
Like an 8-track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking... And I remember, like, you'd have to sneak to listen to it. Yeah. So that and, like, Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Do you remember the language the first time you heard that language? How your head felt? The first time you heard... Not from your parents, because you heard it from your parents, but not used the way a stand-up, especially Richard Pryor, twisted around. Have you watched comedy on CNN, that series?
No, I started, but I didn't get to finish.
The other night, they had just about dirty comedy as I was walking in the door, and it was brilliant. It was Red Fox doing all his albums. That's why I want to go back to albums, because that's I grew up on albums, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at this, and the hand comes out over here. Look at this. It's like Cousin It. Then I take the Lysol and I blast it this way. Just little side angles to make it go up.
I thought you said you could hold it for an hour. What happened to holding it?
Nah, I was thinking about
suddenly...
it. I was thinking about it, but what the fuck is we're all here? We're all gentlemen.
A week colon now all of a sudden.
All right, so you listened... Who else did you listen to as a young...
I listened to Red Fox. Everybody he had, I would listen to. So, You Got to Wash Your Ass, that one.
Oh, my God.
Fucking... Oh, God. Eddie Murphy Delirious was another one, because I didn't even listen to much James Brown. But when I heard him do James Brown, it was the fact that a grown man could do that with his voice. And I was like, how the fuck is he making that sound? That, hey... No, that's a lyric. That's James Brown need a lyric. I said, ooh, that's good. That and like the barbecue, like just the pictures that guy could fucking paint. And so it worked backwards though, because like I said, my dad was a piece of shit. So it was my grandpa that raised me, and he let me just listen to whatever the fuck I wanted. And I was like, I want to listen to that, and it was Richard Pryor. So I'd put it. It was actually a cassette tape. That's what I remember. One of them was Greatest Hits because it was an 8-track. The other one was Here and Now. I think that was the cassette tape. And he'd do Mudbone.
Mudbone, yeah.
And that was when, like, we were talking about one time outside Fourth Wall, because you were talking to Lee about don't you go down there fucking with them Jews without no money.
Oh my God, that's the funniest.
And I remember that because in a weird way that brought me back to when I was a kid. And I was like, there was only one person who was like in their 30s when I was a kid, and I heard them say that, don't you go down there fucking with them Jews without no money. And I knew right then, I was like, oh fuck, like to me that was just how you judge people that you liked on what they knew. How much Pryor shit do they know? Do they know like everybody knows one nigga that drinks always gets fucked up. He always wants to fight. You remember that one?
Right.
He never wins a fight, but he always wants to fight. And just the way that he would do that was just the picture was fucking there. And I was just this little kid, and that alone was hilarious to me.
Now you're listening to all this. How did you end up a theater geek?
Honestly, I don't know. I realized that you could. What the fuck was this movie? I saw like American Beauty, I think it was, and I remember because it was a pretty conservative town, and the way that he looked at that cheerleader because he wanted to fuck her really bad, I remember thinking like that shit's true. Like I see my friends, their parents doing that shit, and so when I saw that on a movie, everybody in our town hated that fucking movie, and I was like, oh, it's so true though. So for some reason I was like, okay, I like what good movies can do. Good movies can kind of bring to light a truth. Just like when I saw Goodfellas, and like the fucking he starts laughing and then he just stops laughing, and everybody just kind of cowers. I was like, fuck, that shit actually happens in scary rooms like that. So I don't know, it was something like that I loved, was just the ability to ask questions like that and to just kind of poke truth. So I guess that's why I like comedy too, was, when I was probably in middle school, I found out about George Carlin, and it was specifically the You Were All Diseased. And it was that night when I remember seeing the HBO thing, and he said, if there is a God, if there is, may he strike this audience dead. And I remember my grandma was like fucking livid, and I couldn't believe he'd fucking said that. And that was when I learned that stand-up could be fucking dangerous like that, because it was like, this guy's talking about shit that he should not be talking about. So I grew up Catholic, so I went to church that next day. We were in catechism, and I started asking questions like, how do we know there's a God?
Oh, that's the worst.
And people were like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, I mean, think about it. They've got us believing this, and we don't know. We really don't. And and I was a fucking kid. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking. All I knew was hearing him and all of the points that he was making. And I think it's been that way ever since. Like, just comics that can be funny and that talk about shit that makes you think a little bit differently. And I mean, we talk about that like that's the goal, but to actually do it and to be in the room with somebody when they're doing that shit was just amazing. It was like, wow, I want to do this.
And where's the closest comedy club? Because I went early. I went in like high school, I think, to a comedy club.
Really? See, I didn't go till college.
Now, where'd you go to college?
It was the American Musical and Dramatic Academy.
And that was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the first comedy club you went to?
It was Caroline's on Broadway.
Okay, and you went in there. Who was on stage?
It was Paul Mooney. It was to go watch him.
So you knew? How did you discover Paul Mooney?
Chappelle show, when he did the Mooney on movies, and they would do the synopsis about what the movie was about, and then the camera would just pan on him, and he'd just shake like that fucking grin that he had, and nope, that was a movie that offended me. And then he would talk about, what was it, Brad Pitt, he's the last, or no, Tom Cruise, he's the last samurai. And then he did Last Samurai, okay, the Mexican with Brad Pitt. And then he goes, I've got one. How about The Last Nigger on Earth, starring Tom Hanks? How about that? It was just the cockiness, and you felt like you were in the room with that guy. And Negrodamus and all of that shit. And so I was like, my mom went out to visit me. I was like, we should see this guy because he used to write for Pryor.
Now, how did you look him up?
It was just New York. Like I knew Caroline's on Broadway because I was a huge fan of Dave Attell and like the New York circuit like that. And that was kind of how I started getting into comedy, was just listening to comedy albums. And yeah, I my mom was in town and she was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, we should go to a comedy club. And he happened to be there. He was the last one on that night. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Midnight show. So I was like, well, if we can stay up, why don't we go see this? Because this guy used to write for Richard Pryor. He was on Chappelle's show. He's really funny on the show. Let's go watch him. And it was otherworldly. Like, I don't think I'll ever be that fucking good. Like, walking out of there, I was like, how the fuck does somebody do that? I couldn't believe, because he just sat in the chair. He sat in the chair and he had the microphone and he just sat there and he looked at everybody and it was so
personal.
Yeah, it felt like we were just
Very
in his
personal.
house or on his porch and he was talking about people. It changed me. It was like, this guy's making us see everything and it's so different. Like being in the room with Mooney was nothing like what you saw on TV. Because even when we walked out, I was with my fucking mother, and my mother looked at me and she's like, I've never seen anything like that. Never. You know, because she grew up on the plains and we're, you know, that's what. So when she saw Paul Mooney, and then later on, she actually got to meet him because I was like, we would ask if we could stay and watch his show. When you were answering phones, and he would be, oh yeah, brother, whatever you got to do. And he just fucking walked down and we'd sit in the back and we'd just watch him. And to watch him work was like...
So how many times did you watch him at Caroline's?
Total, it was 4.
And what did you think? Now, had you been on stage yet?
No.
Were you thinking about it?
Oh, yeah. Watching him
Salivating watching him.
Watching him do it, it looked so fucking easy. You're like, look at how relaxed he is. Look at how personable he is. Like, yeah, it's so easy. And then you fucking do it and you're like, and not just like an hour, but he would do like an hour and 20, an hour and 30. You never knew when he was done. Like, I don't even think he knew when he was done. He would just get up and he'd fucking walk.
There was no closer.
No, it was just like,
all right, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, it was just like that. Yeah,
niggas are starting to bore me.
He'd pick up his bag, and put it over himself, and he's like, "I gotta go. Good night."
There would be one black person in the audience. And he goes, "You niggas are starting to bore me," and he would just walk off the fucking stage with his little bottle of champagne. Mm-hmm. He would get the midget bottle of champagne.
Yep.
He wouldn't go on stage unless he had a midget bottle of champagne. Now, well, how long did it take you to get on stage after you saw Paul Mooney?
When I came to L.A.
So now you're in New York. How long?
I was in New York for 4 years.
And you didn't get on stage at all?
I got on like once or twice. It was nothing that I could actually say, oh, look, I'm doing stand-up. It was, I got to try this.
Where'd you go?
I did it.
Where'd you go the first time?
It was somewhere in Queens. I lived on Ditmars and Steinway. And there was some Chinese bistro that had a fucking open mic. And literally, you just stood like on a box. And it was like, okay. And they'd point at you like, dude, go. And you'd fucking do it. And people were eating and they were annoyed that you were fucking in there. And the mic, you could barely hear it. So you'd speak into it and then they turn it up and it'd be too loud. It was miserable. Any dream I had of doing stand-up in New York, I was like, this is fucking awful. I will never do this shit.
Same thing happened to me. I went back to New York and I was like, I don't know about this. It took me 9 months. That was a beating. That was an emotion. So you're there 4 years. You pick up, you come here. Now what?
Then a buddy was doing a farewell show, and he was moving to Boston. And he's like, hey, I know you've done stand-up before. He's like, do you want to get on stage? I'll give you 3 minutes. And it was I think it was at Flappers. So I was like, let me think about it. And he's like, well, think about it. So I don't even remember when the fuck that was, but I went up and I ended up doing 5, and it went really fucking well. What really happened was I was waiting to go up. I was nervous, and Whitney Cummings had walked in. And she's like, hey, I was wondering if I could do a drop-in. And they were like, okay, when do you want to go? I'll go here. And it happened to be, I had to follow her. And I was pissed. And I was like, guys, I can't fucking do this. Like, and they're like, dude, just don't worry about it. We'll put one guy in front of you. And I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. So she goes on and she fucking crushed. She crushed. Guy went on, he crushed. And then they threw me on. And I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I just looked at everybody and I was like, well, I'm fucking sorry. I go, what do you want from me? And I go, I'm a faggot up here trying to make you guys laugh. What do you want? And I looked at one guy, I was like, you're kind of cute. And that changed it. Like that, for some reason, that won the room over. And I started ragging on Whitney Cummings because I was like, why the fuck did she have to pick tonight? I was like, she's brilliant. Why did she pick tonight, though? And I was like, fuck her. And I did that, and everybody started laughing. And it was funny because, like, I saw her, and I was like, oh, my God, I fucking love you. And she's like, no, it's comedy. Don't worry about it. I thought it was funny. It got the crowd. And that was what was amazing, was it was like, okay, so I did well enough to come back, and then it was just fucking bomb after bomb after bomb. It was miserable.
Going to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
After you win the 3,000.
And you come back and it's like,
yeah,
fuck.
You win 3,000 and then you give them 92,000. That's Las Vegas. That's comedy. Do you know why you're sitting in this room with us tonight?
I don't. I
you're
will
one
be
of the
fucking
few
honest.
people that really, really, really makes me laugh anymore. I started going to the fourth wall to support my friend Lee. And I saw you one night on stage. I didn't bring you here. I did not say anything about gay or anything. My respect for you is as a comic. But since we're talking about it, we'll open up that door. And because you were also raised in Colorado, which I was in Colorado in '83. And it wasn't cool to be talking about Adam and Steve. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't just talk about Adam and Steve in Colorado. I knew about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm hip. I know it's cracking in the gay community, but, you know, you can't just say that in 1983 in a cowboy bar. Although those cowboys are the biggest fucking... They love to get their dick sucked. And when they get 3 beers in them, they'll let anybody suck their dick.
Oh.
And then they'll call you a beaner the next day. You fucking beaner.
Yeah.
And then you'll say, you didn't call me a beaner when I was swallowing your jizz last night. He's lying. I was drinking 3.2 beer. I got fucked up. I didn't know. I didn't even know he was a beaner. I invited him over by mistake. They're fucking crazy. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, Eric. I've been all over Colorado.
I'll go visit and I'll turn on my Grinder. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, they're all over the fucking place, but they never have a face picture.
No. Craig, Colorado, all those, there's men in those towns that are dying to get fucked.
Yeah.
And they have, you know what they have to do? They have to do a crime. And they go to jail. And in Canyon City, they just go over to Lou. They go right over in Canyon City to the gay wing. And now they have an excuse. Well, I belong to him. No, you always belong to somebody. You just didn't know it yet. You just didn't fucking know it. Colorado, if you want to be gay, you got to go to prison. That's where they bust you out finally. Once you come out, you come out. You go in fucking Lee, you come out Ellen. You know what I'm saying? With a talk show. Holy shit. It's fucking... I lived in Colorado when it was raw.
But don't they... Like, it's not going to be just gay people having, like, fun sex in prison. If you're in... Isn't it going to be, like... The kind that you don't really want, like the guys.
No, you want that.
Sons of Anarchy kind?
Well, that's what you want. You want dirty dicks and, you know.
Is that what you want, Eric?
No. There's 2 types of gay people. There's 3 types of gay people. Like there's 3 types of gay guys. There's some guys that love hookers and they'll eat a hooker's asshole and they don't give a fuck if she fucked 20 guys in the ass and crack. There's people that'll share their wives. There's different strokes for different folks, Lee. That's what makes the world unique.
You're so progressive, Joey.
No, what are you going to do at 53? At 55, what do you want me to do? When I was 18 and somebody asked me if I wanted around the world the first time, like a hooker told me, like a guy told me, you know, you go and get around the world. Like I was petrified. You know the way Lee gets about edibles? Like when I call him up and tell him we're going to do heroin? Same thing. When somebody would talk to me about I'm doing it around the world, like, are you fucking crazy? What does that mean? You're going to lick my ass, lick my balls, and try to make out with me? That's not going to happen. Even if I take 20 showers. You know why? Because if you've done it with me, you've done it with 20 animals. You know what I'm saying? You've done it with 20 animals. So
Why
what?
didn't you like blowjobs? What was that about?
When I was younger, dog, the Catholicism, I was just about to tell Eric this, that guys, let's be honest. From the fucking 0th grade to 5th grade, I drank the juice. I was all in. I was not going to let a priest molest me, but I drank the juice. Let's be honest. I believed in Jesus. I believed in this Holy Spirit. I believed.
Yeah.
I went to my buddy, and going into the 5th grade, a lot of shit started happening. Bruce Lee died. Once Bruce Lee died, the form of immigrants left. So now we were free again. We didn't have a leader again. In '68, when Bruce Lee came out, everybody had a voice that didn't have a voice anymore. The word bully wasn't used, but it was the same thing. There was no more bullies. For immigrants, for men, now we had something. We had this power.
Wow.
The other night was Bruce Lee's 45th anniversary, Friday night. And that night, it was Lee's birthday. And I felt really bad, but I got home that night and they were playing The Crow on TV at like 7:30. And it messed me up so much. Like they remembered that I put on Fist of Fury. I put on Chinese Connection. To me, it's Chinese Connection. And can you find the dojo scene in Chinese Connection? I mean, this is gonna freak you out. Just pushing dojo scene because nobody really understands this. And I talked about it on Rogan. Nobody understands this, what you're about to see. You know, I was a kid like you, raised in a Latin home. The thing about me is my mom was, I'm not being politically incorrect tonight, my mom was what you consider in the late 60s a fag hag. My mom did business with a lot of gay men because that was the drug business. But this scene right here changed America forever. Fist of Fury, his first movie, the third one. See, they call it Fist of Fury, but it got released here as the Chinese Connection. And this changed America forever. They had just gone to his school and said that this is when the Chinese people were held down by the Japanese people. And they gave him a picture. And on that picture, it says, "Sick Men of Asia."
What do you want?
You never seen this, Eric?
No.
This changed America forever.
Isn't he your chief?
Look at his body language.
Well, he ain't here. What do you want him for?
This changed America forever. I broke out into tears like I'm about to break into tears right now. This changed America forever. If you were black, if you were Chinese, if you were any minority that you fell into, right here, your life changed. This was the little guy sticking up for the big guy. Yeah, right.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You can take this from me and then get out of here.
So I bring a picture back to your house.
Whenever you're ready, I'll take on any Japanese here.
This changed America forever. The Clint Eastwood movies, you never heard the word bully. Watch what this dummy says to Bruce Lee.
So you want to see how good you are? Then you must be tired of living.
Well, we fight alone or all together.
It'll just take me to show you.
This changed America, guys. Because the first one wasn't that publicized. I'm watching this Friday night. Tears are coming out of my eyes. I'm thinking about my childhood, what I thought life was. This kick changed the history of fucking America. Watch this kick, Eric. It's perfect. Bam! Bam! Over. Lights out. Everybody in the movie theater went crazy when this happened right here. This was the introduction of "You're never gonna fuck with me again." This was it. This was 1971. That's it. We had a voice now. This was the commercial, Eric. You would lose your mind. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And I know we discussed this before, but
There he's got doubt. You can see
look
it.
at this. Look at this. But this is the best. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Double punch. Bam! Orchestrated. Now watch this. This is the best. Watch his hand as he flies over. Watch this. This is the best thing I've ever seen. I didn't catch this till the other night. So he throws the two dummies. Then they kick him in the back. Watch when he does the roll, when he picks up. Boom, boom with his hand. And he's got a pair of nunchucks. And America is a complete different fucking country. Right now, if you're fucking 8 years old, you're at the movie theater, losing, your mind's about to blow up. Look at him. Are you fucking nuts? Fire! No editing. This is terrible. They repeated the same scenes. They were like, go. And he started all over again. Look, a shitty blood pellets. It didn't matter. Right there. That was it. Everybody in the movie theater just went, what the fuck was this? Look at those eyes. Look at them. Nobody said chink anymore after they saw this movie. They were like, that's it, we're done. Look at them, whacking people for no reason. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you guys understand me that this was it? I'm a Catholic kid. Now he breaks the glass because these two Japanese told him that if somebody could beat him, they'd eat those words. Watch this. These two guys actually went to Bruce Lee's school and said, if somebody could beat us from this school, we'll eat the words. Watch Bruce Lee.
Eat. This time you're eating paper. Next time it's gonna be glass.
This is it. This is it. You left that movie theater, you went home and challenged your father. You were like, Dad, it's over. You're never yelling at Mom again. I'll bust your fucking head. Watch this. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this one here. This is when he actually, at the end, he goes to the school and he walks in there. This is the last scene. This is like the last run. Watch what he says to these motherfuckers.
I'm
here to avenge my teacher. It's none of your business, so get out. I'm allowing you to leave.
I
like it better without it being dubbed.
This is violence. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much for a kid to handle. Wait, they got PTSD. Look at this. Watch him jump over the table, Eric. Watch this. Steps on the guy's forehead. Are you kidding me? Then you wonder why I'm fucked up? Watch this. Flying sidekick over the table. Are you fucking kidding me? They don't even do shit like this no more. Who throws a table? Who throws a table? That's an animal. Right here, you're losing your mind. And I used to watch these at the midnight movies. I had to be 8, 7.
Were you and your buddies fighting each other in the aisles?
We would be just sitting there with our mouths open,
out of each other.
drooling. I'll call fucking Sibelio Pino right now and let him tell you how crazy we used to go. Watch these. Me, him, retarded Mike. We had a kid, Mike. He had to be 24, but he thought he was like 11. We didn't give a fuck. We let him hang with us. We let him punch us in the stomach and shit like that. We didn't give a fuck. We made believe he was like our uncle. Yeah, he's our uncle. He's all right. Listen.
That's how you got into R-rated movies?
Yeah. Watch this. Watch all this shit. This is they can't do this anymore.
It's terrible with the sword.
I love when people say all this negative shit about Bruce Lee because they didn't really know what he stood for. He stood for this. Watch this, brother. Are you fucking kidding me or what? Watch this, though. This is the goods right here. When he lifts the guy up and just bitch slaps him. That's the way to do it. This was the mentality I had as a kid. That was it. This was it. There was no peanut allergies. There was no fucking kids with sensitive ears. That's it.
Oh, what do you mean that's what he stands for?
That's what
He stands for killing people?
He stood for. This movie's about him getting tormented. In the beginning, they kill his teacher, and then they fucking abuse him. He goes to a fucking school.
Yeah, to make a stand.
This movie was supposed to be something that happened like in 1940 in Japan. How the Japanese treated the Chinese. There's one scene when he goes to the zoo, and it says, you know, no dogs or Chinese allowed on the wall, and he kicks the fuck out of some Japanese people. But that's not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation, I was a Catholic like you. Came from a Spanish house. And when I got thrown out of Catholic school, I went to public school, and I started listening to Richard Pryor. And one day, we had to go to catechism on Fridays. When I first got to McKinley in the 6th grade, on Fridays you had two options. You got off at 1, you could either belong to the ecology club and go pick up garbage on the street, which I was not doing, or you could go to catechism and walk there by yourself. Which meant you could get high, we get a 6-pack of beer, we could stop at the fucking Sears and Roebuck and shoplift.
What grade is this?
This is 6th grade.
Oh, good, yeah.
Now, it was all the kids from North Bergen that would be allowed to. So other kids from other districts like Franklin and Kennedy School, they would take buses, public transportation. So they would get let loose at one of those animals. And I don't remember the priest's name, and we would go to Holy something. And again, it's next to a theater where George Carlin played, across from the 4-Star Diner, which we were talking about the other day, and it was right there. That's the name of the name of the theater is the Park Place, but in there's like a Catholic something, and we would have to go in there for Catholic catechism. And one day, some New Jersey guy raised his hand, and he's like, "Father, can I ask you something? How do I know what you're telling me ain't bullshit?" And we started laughing. He threw us out. He goes, "Get the fuck out." We're like, "Fuck you too." And we're like, fuck you too, Padre. He's like saying fuck you to us. We're like, fuck you. The rest of the kids like, fuck you, Padre. Like 11 of us got up and left. We all went to the 4-Star Diner. And that's why I made my confirmation when I was 30 years old.
St. Michael's Center?
St. Michael's is in Union City on 16th Street. I used to go there too. I played CYO basketball for them. But, you know, I was raised
right here.
with all these Catholicism things that you're not supposed to say and do and rules and shit like this. Now, we have a second part to add to this conversation, which is your situation, which is you are gay. So now you're living in Colorado. You're 15 years old. Did you already have desires for men? What were you thinking?
At that point, yeah, because you start to realize shit's different, and it's like, okay, you have guys that are dating chicks, they're fucking feeling girls up and all that other shit. And I mean, I tried, but it was like, I don't know, there's something fucking different. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then you watch Home Improvement, and you're like, oh, fucking Jonathan Taylor Thomas. That's an interesting looking guy right over there. And immediately you're like, oh shit, I'm fucked up. Something's broken. And it's some weird shit. You're like, okay, fuck. Because I loved being Catholic. I loved it. It made sense. I remember I used to sit next to my grandpa at church. We would eat. I remember he would take the host and he would save just a little bit and he would sneak me some because I always wondered what that cracker tasted like. And he was like, yeah, here. And the thing of it was we used to go on Saturday nights and then we'd go eat. And that was like a big thing for him. He had like an altar of all these fucking candles. And it was just something that, if somebody died, you went and you prayed for them and you did all of that. So when that happens, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on?
I always have a candle. I have candles at the house. When
Absolutely.
I say I'm gonna light a candle for you, I light a candle for you.
Yeah, and so you
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to your parents?
My mom, the crazy thing was...
you're tight with your mom, obviously,
Yeah.
but you were raised by grandpa.
So he wasn't paying bills. Like, I don't know the exact story. They were together and shit like that. And what I remember, because I asked my mom, like, so what is going on with this guy? And to be fair, his family, like his mom and his dad, were fucking great to me. They wanted to be a part of it. But what ended up happening was he was saying like shit like, oh yeah, I gotta go into work. And what he would do is he was smart. He would go to the park and he'd get high with his friend. And my mom would have to go to work. But the thing of it was she'd come home and she'd find like final notice of shit. Like, I gave you money to pay this. Why isn't this paid? And I don't know. And she finally like followed him one day and she found out what he was doing. She followed him for a while. And she'll talk about it to this day, about when she got the courage to leave him and what that process was like. Because she's like, every day I would move something. She's like, if I had like the hamper full of clothes, I'd move it to mom and dad's. She's like, and then I just come and be regular. She's like, I still remember you in your little cradle that she would carry me around in. And she's like, so every day I'd move just a little bit of shit. And she's like, and then one day I called my brothers, we got all this shit and we left. It's weird. I don't talk about this shit a lot, like to anybody. So this, if I seem nervous, that's the reason why. Because nobody fucking.
Because you talk about your mother, but you also speak about your grandfather. So I'm just a little not really confused.
Yeah.
I just was just curious.
So
maybe your mother did time for a couple of years. I left you with grandpa, and she came out, and you guys rekindled. I'm not here to judge.
No.
I was just drawing a picture in my head.
It's a different. It's just I've never really talked about it.
So your grandpa was your dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you love him. Is he still with us?
No, he passed away in '97.
Okay.
And then my uncle Barry took over, and that guy fucking died like 2 years ago. I think it is now, a year and a half ago. So wanting a dad and wanting like a father figure, like, I not to blow smoke up your ass, but like honestly, like when you start coming around to the fourth wall, it was like, okay, fuck, you would say something and I would think about it and it would percolate in my head. I'd be like, fuck, you know what? Yeah, I should try this. I should try this. And I'd try it and it would work. And I'd be like, fuck, how did he know that? How did he know that? So I'd ask you a question again. I didn't want to fucking bother you, but I'd ask you a question again and then I'd get the fuck out of there. I don't know if you remembered that. I would talk to you a little bit and then I'd get the fuck out. Because I'd be like, I gotta try this. I gotta try this.
There's one thing I have. I'm not book smart. I don't know about sleep or voting or cells or anything like that. I do know about the human mind. I know about human compassion. I know about hustle, and I know about pain. And I was going through a rough time, guys. I was going through a really rough time. stand-up wise, I was at a, Bobby Lee 2 days ago, last night, said I can't leave town because I was at a precipice that something might happen. Let me tell you something, bro. 6 months ago, last December and November, I was at a precipice of maybe having a nervous breakdown. I don't know what a nervous breakdown consists of. We had a podcast here about depression, and Lee started seeing somebody, and Ari, and I didn't feel those things. I just felt something was lacking. Now, here's a guy that I'm not blowing smoke up my ass. I'm a headliner. I've earned everything I've gotten.
Yes.
I've done movies. I've done this and that. And something just didn't taste right. I didn't know who to take it to. And as you guys know at home, I'm too fucking much of a prick to go to a psychotherapist or psychiatrist, because I believe that we should work things out on our own. That's what makes us stronger. I think that a piece of paper and a pen and a lot of thought and some reefer or whatever gets you to that place to identify your situation is. So one night, instead of going to the Comedy Store and hanging out with Tom Papa and Joe Rogan and all these people, I said, I want to do something. I want to go back and start all over again. I want to do a science experiment, because I am a walking science experiment. Since I got off cocaine 10 years ago, that's all I've been doing, is experimenting. I don't know how I got to here. So I have to figure out the formula to how the fuck did I get here. So I tagged along with Lee, and I went to the fourth wall, and it was the best thing I ever did in my life, because I got to see you guys. You guys want what I got. And guess what? I want what you guys got.
That's my quote. What did you see at Fourth Wall? I mean, because it looks like you didn't know what you were looking for. Because when you would come in there, it was fascinating to watch you watch us. Because you were looking for something, and when you would look, because to watch you,
I was looking for the fundamentals of comedy, if there is some. I was looking for the fundamentals of comedy. I wanted to come home and get a pen and go, Lee, this is what comedy is. Can I have that pen from you? And go, Lee, this is what comedy is. It's chapter 1, this chapter 2, this chapter 3, this chapter 4. I wish I could do that. I can't do that. I wanted to do it not for you guys. I wanted to do it for myself and then pass it on to you guys, the knowledge I had gotten. But I couldn't figure it out. But something else happened. A fat, fucking, chubby, cute Mexican guy went on stage and made me fucking laugh my ass off about being gay. Now, I'm 55, and if you watch any of my CDs, any of my special, any of my routines, I always have a joke about a gay person in there, because they seem so funny to me, and they were so involved in my life. I mean, I tell a story about Martin Maricon, that was in my life. And he wasn't the first one. The first real gay man in my life was this Santeria gay dude. And he used to always say shit to me, like, one day I'm going to fuck you in the ass.
Oh, my God.
Like, and I must have been like fucking 6. And he would tell me, like, in front of my mother. And I go, you fuck me in the ass, I'm going to fuck you up, motherfucker. Right? Like, I would fuck you up in front of my godmother.
What did you say in Spanish?
Yeah. Like, little zapatico Jose Antonio. Like, my real name is Jose Antonio. And my mom would put, like, white shoes on me, and he would go, ooh, mira esos zapaticos de Jose Antonio. And I'd say, hey, motherfucker, I'll fuck you up. Like, I was fucking angry. My father died. And this guy would say shit to me to get my blood going, like, in front of everybody. He would go, mira esos shorts que tienen Jose Antonio, que lindo. And I'd say, don't be fucking looking at me, you little fucking faggot. I'll fucking kick your fucking ass. So one night he tickled me, and I'm like, don't fucking tickle me, you fuck. Don't fucking tickle me, don't touch me and shit. And I said to him, I hope you fucking die, you fucking faggot. And the next day he died.
Oh my God.
are you serious?
Yeah. And they fucking, the Santeria people took me to a house and sat me down. And they were like, you better never, ever, ever. They started throwing coconuts. When you do Santeria, you got 4 coconuts, and that's how they ask permission. And they were like, you better never, ever, ever wish death on somebody again.
They blamed you as a 6-year-old?
Not even by mistake. Not even to say it.
God.
That's why when a Spanish person one day said, you're number 13 on the Stanhope death pool, this is years ago on Facebook, I wrote him in Spanish, and I go, Spanish people don't talk that way. And he hit me back, and he's like, I forgot, you're right. You know, we don't fucking go on death list or nothing. That's against our fucking, we don't think about death when you're Spanish. White people love talking about insurance policies, and I'm leaving my piano to my kid. Spanish people don't do nothing. They don't sign the will till they're like in the coma. You gotta hold their coma hand, and that's when they'll sign the will. Come on, sign it. Come on, so we don't have to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Spanish people, they'll be dying and they'll fucking won't sign nothing.
Oh my God, real Jews? I've known for like 15 years where everything is. My mom and dad show me.
Oh yeah,
They call me when they move it.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. It's
Dude,
crazy.
fucking Forest Lawn, they have plans. Yeah, a lot of Jewish people in Forest Lawn. They have like
They've owned their burial plots for like 50 years, I bet.
yeah.
They own it. That's bad luck for fucking Spanish people. We don't want to know nothing.
fuck no.
Come on, I'll leave some money. Just bury me.
They
I don't
got a
give
good
fuck.
spot.
Put me in the yard like my uncle. They put him in the yard. He's back there for years. 15,000 to bury somebody. Put him in the fucking yard. Can you imagine that? Just take somebody home, put some powder on him, put him
Please
in the
don't tell
yard.
me there's bodies buried in yards in New Jersey.
I ain't gonna
Please.
say that. I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't
can't.
want to fucking, you know.
Nobody knows nothing.
Nobody knows nothing here. I'm just talking here from the fucking heart. But okay, so I go to the fourth wall, and I'm looking for the answer to my problems. I'm looking. Number two, I'm going through something. I'm not feeling well. Every night about 5 o'clock, I started feeling fucking shitty. Something wasn't right. I started taking blood tests and piss tests, and there was something in my stomach, and I didn't know what the fuck it was. So I started drinking kombucha. So I just had a lot of shit going through my head, and Netflix was starting to put the process together. So I wanted to go back to basics. So I started going to the fourth wall to watch open micers in their most primitive form. I liked the fourth wall because it made you sit there and watch other comics. That's what really lured me to that. That if you signed up with family, you got to sit in here for the whole fucking hour and watch everybody. And it forced me. I love watching comedy, but I also want to laugh. As soon as I sit down, I want to laugh. I don't want rehearsed shit. I don't want shit that you practice in the mirror, and I want you to react to the room. Whatever happens, that's what I'm looking to see. My favorite thing in the world is getting high, and if I have a 10:15 spot at the store, I'll go at 9:15 and sit in the back of the room and watch those comics and learn. So I went to the fourth wall to learn. But the biggest lesson, I learned two things in the fourth wall. I learned that what it was to feel like you guys, I made myself feel like you guys.
Yeah.
And it backfired. It fucked my head up because I don't need to feel like that again. But I also got to see you. And I've been thinking a lot about you lately because the problem with my Netflix special was that I wasn't me. And I watch you on stage, and right now you're a breath of fresh air to me.
Fuck.
Because you do comedy. There's only two gay dudes that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of gay guys do comedy. I hate talking about Spanish comedy and black comedy and Jewish comedy. I hate that shit. But in the gay world, if you're a gay man, there's only two guys that I've seen go up there with balls of steel as a gay man. And that's you and this guy Ian from Santa Barbara, who had opened for me in New York, which was a trip. Because the first night at Gotham, it was Gotham. Now, Gotham is a place where there's fights. People get it.
Yeah.
Last time I went with Dean Delray, a lady picked up a table and threw it. This poor little Ian guy lives in, he's helping book the room in Orange County now. So if you guys want to do it, let me know. Maybe all three of us will do it together. And he's booking this room down in Orange County. And I used him, and he would move to New York. He wanted to give. I saw him in Santa Barbara. I worked with him in Santa Barbara. And I could see he made. When you're gay and you're white and you make people uncomfortable, you're my guy. You're my guy. That's what I want to see. I want to see a guy go, move. That means mentally, his mental, you made him so uncomfortable that his brain told him to move his asshole so you can't get to it. So if he's sitting this way with his girlfriend, like rubbing her hand, he'll lock and load that ass. Because that's what I want to see. That's real comedy if you're a gay man. If you're going to go up there and talk that Beverly Hills shit to impress them, and this guy's amazing, and try to be Captain Griffin in drag, I ain't taking a fucking ride with you. I want you to tell me about your fucking fears. Tell me what's going on in your world. And that's the first time I saw you. You know, you did a bit about going to a gay bar and some guy sucked a dick in a tent. And then there was a fist fight. And I'm fucking in the back howling. And then the second one you told is one of the best written jokes. If I had to sit here and write the 10 best written jokes that have made me laugh, you know, jokes that have sincerely made me laugh. Hi, my name is Charlie Hill. It used to be Mountain, but I shortened it. You know who Charlie Hill is? The Indian, you know, from the store. The first time I heard him say, my name is Charlie Hill, I shortened it from Mountain. Dog, I almost fell off my chair, okay? As dumb as that fucking joke is. Bro, I heard Rodney Dangerfield. Somebody posted a Rodney joke yesterday on Facebook, and he goes, I get no respect. I went on a diet, and it backfired. I went on the rice diet. I didn't lose any weight, but every half hour, I had an iron shirt. I fucking lost it, dog. I fucking lost it. I love all great jokes. But a great bit, Rogan's, one of the greatest bits of all time is Rogan when the chick from Texas.
Anna Nicole Smith.
That's one of the greatest bits of all time.
Fuck.
Bro, it was such a great and brilliant bit that Mitzi Sure told him to stop doing it in the main room because people couldn't follow it. Like that was how brilliant of a bit Anna Nicole Smith was. When she married the old guy, that everybody's like, father, and he went and got himself a Kentucky Fried hooker. Oh my God, till this day, I still laugh at those fucking jokes. And the joke about him, like, you know, why do you want to go to a strip club? Well, because somebody told me that you could see a woman's pussy for $1. And every time I'm driving home from the store, I'm like, maybe I should go to a strip club tonight. It's 10 o'clock. I'm like, why would I go to a strip club for? And also I'm like, Joey, because you can see a woman's pussy for $1. Don't blame me. I can see your pussy for 20 nickels. I fucking die when he says that type of shit. I love jokes. You know, fucking Richard Pryor, the nigger meets Dracula. Are you fucking crazy? Like, who's smoking pot going, we got to think of a bit here. I saw this motherfucker the other night. He looked like Dracula. Let's write a joke about it.
Dirt all on the back of your neck and shit. You was a filthy little motherfucker.
Who the fuck? What imagination gets that? Like, what imagination? But your bit on the taking the Arab home is one of the funniest things because the twist at the end, like I told you at the beginning of the show, and I have no reason to blow smoke up your ass, the twist at the end, which I will not reveal, is one of the most brilliant things. And if you write that joke out and somebody's looking for a writing sample, you just go like this with that joke. And they'll ask you, are you gay? This is about me, bitch. This is something that happened to me. And then you go, oh, you want another one? Let me tell you about the night I saw the guy blow the guy in the tent. Oh, you want another one? How about the guy I fucked the guy with the ball in his mouth? When you said that one that night, I was losing myself because people will not say that shit. And look at half the people at the fourth wall. What bothered me the most? Let me give some, hold on one second. Let me give some shout outs before we go into this. Real quick, my new sweetheart on Facebook, the hottest chick on Facebook, Letitia Catan. I love you, you little Jewish Puerto Rican fucking savage.
She's Jewish Puerto Rican?
Yeah, she's fucking savage. John Joyce, my man Dennis Rice, Cash Donovan, Quentin Page, Matthew Schneider, John Rizzi, Stuart Fleming, Robert Reed, Jake Caparoon, and my man Rip Ripley. You bad motherfucker. Don't forget, me and Kate will be in Salt Lake City walking around Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I'll be at the Kansas City Improv fucking August 9th through the 11th. And I'll see you motherfuckers then with Dean Del Rizzi, you filthy fucking animals. And don't forget, I'll be in Huntsville, Alabama, and Nashville, Zanies at the end of the month in August. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Right now, let's worry about Salt Lake City, you bad motherfuckers. Anyway, So now you're 15. You don't see yourself in Colorado as
No, I don't even. And the thing of it was that I played football. Like I came from a wrestling family. They love like my cousin, the uncle that raised me. He's the head wrestling coach, and he took state and everything. And we're like brothers. We look a lot alike. He's got a wife. He's got 3 beautiful kids, and we look just like each other. And the funny thing is when I go down there, I'll have Grinder on, and they're like, "Oh shit, is that Coach on fucking Grinder?" And like I always gotta tell them like, "Hey, just so you know, this is who I am," because they love an anonymity in fucking Colorado because they can't be gay. So what cracks me up about it is I always gotta tell them, "Hey, I'm not your fucking coach, so don't try shit
Now,
like that."
Did you have encounters in Colorado before you went to New York, or were your first encounters in New York? Because New York is a hell of a place to be gay at.
Yeah.
If I was going to be gay, that's the capital.
No,
That's where
you're
you
right.
lose your
You're
fucking
exactly
mind.
right.
That's where I saw it. I
Yep.
saw it front and center in front of me.
Yep.
And it was very interesting to see. I saw the growth. Like I said in that story on Comedy Central, I still remember Martin missing a tooth some weeks. Some weeks he'd come over, he'd have a black eye. Some weeks he got stabbed. This is when it wasn't eco-friendly to be
Yeah.
gay. 1972, 73, 75. It wasn't eco-friendly. 2 men were not walking down the street hand in
no.
hand. It would take 50 yards before somebody pulled over, kicked them in the stomach, got back in the car. Who they going to call? The cops are going to help
He
you.
was wearing steel-toe boots the other day.
Yeah, he has to. He knows. Sometimes you gotta kick a motherfucker. These motherfuckers get confused. Because in the gay world, there's some crazy people too.
Fuck yeah.
There's some crazy people too.
It's the older gays you don't fuck with.
You know, I watched that. I love all the FX series, and the Andrew Cunanan one was fucking disturbing. That's the guy that killed Versace.
Oh,
That
yeah.
started like, he was fucking nuts. And, in my many years of doing drugs, and when I was younger, the big circle to get the elite drugs. Like, yeah, you get coke from anybody, but when you wanted elite cocaine, there was a gay lady. That was a lesbian. When you wanted, when I bought all those Quaaludes, the best Quaaludes I bought was from a lesbian girl. Her brother was a gangster, real mafia, in like Wikipedia and everything still. Not going to tell you their name. But I used to buy Quaaludes from her sister. They were mafia Quaaludes. There was a time when to get the best coke, you had to go to the meat market, that place I told
Wow,
you.
yeah.
The one gay bar with the 3 floors. And,
Ramrods.
The ramrods, and that's why I saw them use the rush.
Fucking love, yeah.
They would use rush.
They have such aggressive names. Bullet, Ramrod.
And they would have poppers. They would break poppers and
Absolutely.
snort 'em and then make out with each other. And I would sit there and go, what the fuck is going on? But I never looked down on it. It wasn't for me to judge.
And that's the thing. In Colorado, it was one of those things where I didn't dare come out. And like I think everybody kind of knew, but it was one of those things where it's like, okay, we're not going to talk about it. Let's not talk about it. I'll play football. I was an all-conference football
How
player.
did your family react to it?
I moved to New York and met somebody, and I came back, and my mom was surprised. She was like, okay. And she's like, I honestly didn't know. And I was like, really? And she's like, I had questions, but I took you at your word. And then, like, cousins and stuff like that, people that I was close to and told them, they were like, why didn't you ever tell us? You could have told us. And it was almost like they were mad that you didn't tell them. Because it's a weird thing, because you really don't know how somebody's going to react. Because the thing about it, like, you talk about honesty in comedy and shit like that, people don't like when I say faggot on stage. Like, other gay comics, I've had other gay comics scold me for saying that word. I grew up around that word.
What do you say to them when they come up to you and scold you?
I listen to them because I know it's coming from a place of pain. I know that, and they're like, you could do that joke so much better. And in my head,
No, you
I'm
can't.
like, that
Gay don't work that funny. No, you can't. Faggot is a word because it's a word, not because it's gay. I don't use it as all in a gay kind of. I have no beefs at all with gay men. Like I have no beefs at all.
Good lord.
Out of respect for gay men, that's the gay salute. You know what I'm saying? I got no beef. I love this. I put my hand through this little hole, and I can still blow it at Lee. He's still. Hold on.
I like how he blames me for the flies and the bugs that come into this office.
And listen,
He fucking farted and said that was a gay salute.
listen to me. I always take responsibility for the farts. When the fly comes in here and he chases your fucking fat little fucking
You have
hummus
no
snack.
option. Nope.
I was in here with Ralphie. I've been in here with 8 or 7 people
bee
that
came
have
in with
seen
Ralphie.
flies on your neck before.
They've never had
And they've called me the next day and said, why is there bees and animals on Lee's neck all the time? Because he's a filthy fucking animal. He eats that fucking hummus and he don't bathe. He only
I
bathes
do
in the
too.
morning.
Oh my god.
You only bathe in the morning. You're supposed to bathe twice. Before you come to this office at 8 o'clock, you take a shower. I don't want that grease coming through your neck all day long.
I don't have a greasy neck.
Yes, you do. When that sun shines on your fucking neck.
Look how
Whenever-
pale I am. Do I get sun? No. I go to the gym. I shower after the gym.
Yeah, the 3 feet you walk per day, it makes that. I smell it sometimes. I can smell your neck. That's why I smell my neck, because I'm getting to be an
Your
old
smells
man.
way worse.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does. You keep. What do you think that fart is in? God
The
damn it.
fart I blow that way towards you, and keep talking like another one percolating. That's gonna knock your fucking wig off. This will give you more hair than fucking for hims. You know what I'm saying? This will grow. You smell what's coming out of my ass next. I'll wake up tomorrow. You'll be a Beatle. You understand me? You're like one of the Beatles. People say, "What happened to Lee?" Let's say John Lennon. So
Is my hair gonna smell like your shit?
Who knows? I don't know. How was that weed that you smoked tonight? I had everything in there. Don't worry about nothing. So, forget about fucking Momo over here.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Let me ask you a question. So, because one night we were at the, I watched you. I watched you a couple nights, and I'm like, this guy's fucking hilarious. He's in a different league, and nobody knows it because he's hidden up here. They're forcing him to hide. But that ends tonight. And it was funny because then you came outside and you spoke to me about Paul Mooney. And if you know anything about me, that's the education that I got. I got the education of Paul Mooney. And that's what I forgot when I shot my Netflix special. And that's what I forgot when I went up to the fourth wall. And I forgot it again. I told Bobby Lee, and I told this to Rogan, I told this to a couple people, that Jim Norton said something once, and it kind of bothered me. He said that he doesn't watch other comic specials. And I thought that was kind of arrogant, and I fucking got it, why he doesn't watch other comic special. Because it takes your mind away, and it lets you think, I'm really concerned about the mind. I'm always very concerned about the mind and what goes on in it. And with stand-up, we have to be ourselves. The biggest thing that people say to us is, be yourself, be yourself. We never know what that means. I never know what that meant. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what be yourself means. You know what it means for a guy like me to go up there and talk about what I do best, what I tell Lee on the phone. When I'm on the phone with Lee and he's laughing and we're doing our thing, that's what I do best. Not when I try to be a witty writer. Not when I try to be somebody I'm not.
Yeah.
You have to be who you are. You, my friend, on stage, at the 5-year mark, have found yourself, which is truly amazing. It's just truly amazing. Once this special airs, I'm going to get more dates, and I'm going to take you out on a couple dates, just so the world sees you. And they're not going to like you at first. You're going to come up to me and go, these people in this fucking club do not like me, but I don't want you to give a fuck. Because that's the same education I had from Rogan. They didn't like me. And after a while, I knew they weren't going to like me. So I went out there balls to the wall, and it taught me something different about comedy. They're not going to like you. But if I stick around long enough, you're going to fucking like me. I got an old adage. You may not suck my dick today, but you're going to suck it. Might not be today.
Awesome.
I know you got a boyfriend and you love him. I know. But you got one weakness. You do cocaine, and I supply that cocaine. So one night, somewhere, you're going to suck my fucking helmet because I'm going to show up with an 8-ball and catch you off guard. That was then. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't want my dick sucked. I'm married.
I can't wait till someone puts
But
that in their
it's the
yearbook.
truth. It's the truth. You know, when you leave the house in the morning and you have that type of mentality, when you go on stage and you go, they're either going to suck my dick or they're going to suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're either going to laugh or they're going to suck my dick. That's who Joe Diaz is. And I forgot until I saw you. And the other night when I watched Kennison on that CNN comedy show, I'm like, that's who fucking... I called him immediately. And I said, we got to get him on the show because now I got the hook to get you on the show because I just don't like putting people on the show. You know, people complain, hey, man, put me on your show. You got no reason for me to put you on the show. There's no way you're going to go. With it, you're prime. You're ready. You're ready to go out there and do 20 minutes every fucking week and let these people see you. And you're going to go through some, they're going to love you in the Bible Belt. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fucking want to quit.
That's the thing of it though, is like I went to a friend's graduation in Lawrence, Kansas, and all of his buddies were around, and I was making gay jokes and they were laughing. Because the thing about it is I don't get booked on little shows around West Hollywood. I don't. And I think a lot of that is because I say faggot or it's a different kind of perspective. That's not to say that's the only reason. Like it's strange though. Like I don't know how I would do for a gay crowd that was just strictly built for gay. But I was talking with my friend and he's like, you don't want that. And I realized that's what the truth is I want to be able to go to Greeley and I want to walk into a room where it's mostly straight people. They don't know anybody gay. They don't know anything like that. And if I can walk in there and fucking get them, then that means the fucking world to me. That's where comedy is, you know. When we did that detox center, it's like, oh, okay, that's where they fucking need comedy. Because it's like, holy shit, like that room was just so dour, and it's like, fuck, I don't even want to fucking be here. But then we start riffing them, we start joking about, you know, what we did when we were drunk and how fucked up it was, and they start laughing a little bit, and it feels better. And that's what I listen to your fucking laugh compilation when I get up out of bed in the morning because I don't want to fucking go to work. I don't want to fucking go to work. I get up, I have to drag myself. I'll listen to church. I'll listen to fucking old Opie and Anthony shit. I'll listen to anything to get me the fuck out of bed and do my job so that I can go to Fourth Wall and try something that happened or try a bit that might work. And I don't know if it's gonna work.
You want to be a comedian?
Oh, I fucking it's all I live and breathe now. It's like fucking, you know, I wanted to put myself in situations where they were tough, because it was like, you know, the first time I ever went to the store, really quick, I gotta tell you this. I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. I can't. I'm excited because you always hear about it. So I went there, and Doug Stanhope was gonna be there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking break my cherry on Stanhope. This is amazing. And I remember standing there, and the door guys were come on, this way, come on, let's go. They weren't, you know, they weren't mean, but it wasn't like a jovial, hey, welcome to. It was like, come on, let's go. I was like, all right. And I remember when I walked in, it was cold, and it was fucking black, and it was dark, and those neon lights were on, and blaring was When the Levee Breaks, Led Zeppelin. And I was fucking scared. I don't know why. I got really anxious, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is a crazy, dark place. And I sat down, and fucking Stanhope just, he crushed. Like, it was amazing. And then I walked out of there, and I walked like for an hour and a half, and it was just like, what the fuck was that? And that's why, like, the store, when you talk about the store and you're like, yeah, I'm going up at 10. I went there 2 nights ago with my buddy, and we were just sitting in the back, and I was watching these paid regulars because everybody's in Montreal. A lot of people are in Montreal, and I was like, I'm going to see the real newer paid regulars, and I wanted to see that. And when you watch them, it's like, you're still learning shit. And I'm like, fuck, man. It was the first time ever that I was like, I want that bomb in the OR. I fucking want that because I got to do that like fucking 1,000 times in order to do well. Because the thing that you don't realize is when you go up in the main room or you go up in the OR, you fucking crush. You do. And I'm here. I'm telling you, yes.
Oh, me as a person.
Yeah, you. And I compare it to this. Did you watch that new Elvis documentary?
Yes.
On HBO?
Absolutely.
The thing that got me about, because I was like, I never got into Elvis because I don't know.
Brilliant.
And I looked, and watching that guy perform, I was like, oh, he's got the voice, but it's the fucking performance. When he would throw out his arms and he would fucking do that shit, and he had this fucking attitude. You have that when you walk on stage. It's the whole package. Yeah, and
fear.
Is it?
It's fear.
I don't know what the fuck it is, because when you walk out there, like I said, Mooney has it. It's this fucking
that's why I got it.
attitude. Yeah,
That's what you
it's
have
this
to get
it's this
it.
attitude.
I get mad at Lee. I get mad every day at Lee because Lee thinks about shit. And I told him 2 weeks ago. I told him, if you don't get rid of that, you're never going to be a good comic. Got to get rid of that. That shit that you have, until you don't get rid of that, it's not going to work out for you. You're going to take it to a certain level. It's not going to work out for you. You got to take that safety net and let it go. In all aspects of your life. And it's really weird. Like, you think about it and you're like, what the fuck is he saying? What the fuck is he saying?
That was terrible. Call OSHA.
It's so weird how I was scared of everything when I got into comedy. And the more I did comedy, the more that pussy shit I had to get rid of. Like, I had to get rid of it. And I had gone to prison, and I had done 1,000 things before I got into comedy. But I was still such a fucking little mama's boy when I got into comedy. I thought it was going to be a perfect world. But I knew for me to get where I was going, it couldn't be perfect. Because this is perfect, and it's not. But I'm better off than sitting at the fourth wall and doing 5 shows at the fourth wall and sleeping in my van. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, fuck yeah.
So I knew that for this to be perfect, there was going to be some years of imperfection. And that means you have to get out of your comfort zone. You don't like eating ass? Gotta eat ass. I don't give a fuck what you like or what you don't like. Because while you're eating ass, you're going to think of a joke. While you're doing all that nasty, disgusting stuff, you're thinking of jokes. When you take your dick out of a woman and she pussy farts, and it goes, and you're sitting there next to her, you're like, this is life. You cannot be a comic without life experiences. Every time I go to the fourth wall, I get angry as fuck for 2 things. The comics touch the mic, and then they take their phone out. Like, the answer to their fucking problems is on their stupid fucking phone. Show me one stand-up who looks on their fucking phone. Mm-hmm. For you to become a good stand-up, you gotta get rid of that phone, because you gotta live life. You gotta see every fucking picture. You gotta see every fucking picture. If you're too busy doing this, you can't do it. You're gonna be limited to this. To be a great, I love when people fucking call me shit and call me names and call me a bullshit. I didn't have the life I had. I laugh because I was forced. By my mother dying, I was forced to live a different life. You think I like sitting at a fucking bar? Is that what you think? I love doing drugs. I can do drugs till the cows come home. But you will not see me in a fucking bar in a booth acting like Johnny Bananas, drinking bottle service. You'll never see me. You would never see me when I was 25 either. I like doing drugs in my own house.
Yeah.
I don't like people seeing me weak.
Yeah.
Why would you want to see somebody see you all weak? You know, Joe Rogan, in a 20-year relationship, he caught me on coke one night, and I couldn't even make eye contact with him. Wow. I just sat in his car and kept looking straight. He told me he wasn't coming down, so I went off early. And all of a sudden he showed up. I was like, God damn it. He goes, come on, get in the car. Let's go for a ride. And I'm in the car, coked out, with the window open when he had a Supra, smoking cigarettes, like fucking trying to make my jaw stop. You know how embarrassed I was in front of him, because I never wanted him to see me on coke. He knew I did coke, and that's fine. But I never, ever wanted him to see me do coke because it was my weakest point. You know, I don't even know how we got in this conversation about drinking, about you getting out of the safety. All this shit, when I break your balls, you can't become a comic if you eat 3 types of sushi. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't become a good comic if you eat shrimp, tuna, and spicy tuna. You have no life experiences. You have no. This is why I'm appreciative that Lee's going through what he's going through now. Because you guys saved him. He was on the couch every night listening to some chick talk about bugs and stupid fucking TV shows. And he was buying it. He was buying it. He was really buying into it. And I had a problem with him. He didn't know how lucky he was. He got rid of her and started his own life. And I don't care if he does stand up or not. That's not the reason why I love him. I love him that he's free and he's 30 and he's seeing the world for what he is.
Yeah.
But you can't be a good stand-up. You know, when you told me you went to the gay bar with him that night, I almost jerked off all over myself. I was going to jerk off, come in my hand and throw it in my face like the priest throws it. When you're a young kid, they just throw it in your face
You're
like
throwing
that.
it in your own face?
Yeah, because that's how happy you made me that you went to a gay bar. Because you did something. Just the fact that he did something. You know, I have a friend that comes in here and does coke. I don't do cocaine. I don't want him to do coke. But he's going to have to do it one time if he's going to be a good comic. Just not enough to get him a heart attack, just to taste it so he gets his dick sucked or something. You know, this is a life that we live. I don't want you to be a junkie. I've never wanted him to eat 20 edibles, but I don't want him to go out with a bunch of comics one night and they give him an edible and they fuck him up. Because then now I got to go fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
So I'll fuck him up and I'll take care of him because he knows I take care of him.
Yep.
So nobody can fuck with him. When I give him a fucking animal tranquilizer and he don't know it and he tells me that he fell asleep with his clothes on. You know what I'm saying? I got him. He took it from me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so.
But then, like, that's a... Because when you said a couple minutes ago that I need to stop doing things, I've been thinking about it. I forget when you told me.
You have to, for
but
you to
told
get to that next level in your life,
right?
You got to knock this shit off.
But you also told me to not be as dirty as I've been. I don't think I'm that dirty.
I want you to be clean in the beginning, so the first 2 years you should be clean just to learn how it is. You don't look like a guy that's going to talk about eating your ass. Do you eat ass?
No.
Then why would you talk about it?
I don't.
Do you fuck people in front of the breakfast? Have you ever fucked somebody in the ass and come in the face?
No.
Then how are you going to talk about it?
I don't.
Okay, then what do you talk about? Not having sex?
No, I talk about
What are you talking
some
about,
sex
not having
things.
sex?
But you told me even then, you're like, don't be that dirty.
No, I want you to do it. Don't do it like I did it. I'm a loser. It took me 27 years when it could have took me 15. You follow what I'm trying to say to you? It took me 27, but I could have done it in 15 if I would have done these same facts that I'm telling you two fucking knuckleheads. Right. Just shut your fucking mouth and do your first 2 years clean. And then at the end of 2 years, then come back to me and I'll go, okay, this year you're going to work improv. But I've never done improv. I've never gone to the groundlings. I really don't give a fuck. The first time I see you do a joke on the road, I will fire you. You will go home on your own dime. You will not do a fucking joke in front of me. I want you to go up there and say, hello, how are you people tonight? What do you do for a living? And start right there and go backwards. And that's what you do for a year. And then I'm going to make you break that habit. And every time I see you talking to the audience, I'm going to make you get off. I'm going to throw something at you. A fucking yo-yo, a rock, a fucking quarter, until I cut you. That means now, but guess what? By the end of 5 years, I'm going to give you an education. I'm going to teach you how to be dirty for 2.
At some point.
I'm going to teach you how to be dirty for 2. I'm going to teach you how to do improvise for 1. I'm going to teach you how to stop improvising because it's a bad fucking habit. But I want you to know it. I don't want... You have cigarettes on you?
No.
You don't smoke?
No.
I don't want you to smoke cigarettes, but I do want you to smoke a cigarette. I don't want you to smoke cigars, but I do want you to smoke a cigar. Do I want you to suck Eric's cock? It would be nice if I get a picture. I'll sell it to the Inquirer, but I don't want you to suck his cock. But I enjoyed that you went with him to a gay bar and experienced it, and I enjoy that he loves you as much as he does, and I know that he would never let nothing happen. No. When you tell me you're with him at 2 a.m, I know the worst thing that could happen is you could fall asleep and wake up with your pants on backwards, and your ass is a little sore, and he's sleeping, dreaming with a smile on his face.
When I went to the gay bar, I was so overwhelmed in there
You have to be. I'm overwhelmed.
And then I
You see me hanging out in gay bars now? I wouldn't walk into a fucking gay bar today if you paid me because I don't do drugs. I had nothing to talk to them about.
It was raining, and I turned the wrong way out of the bar. So for 10 minutes, I thought that my car was stolen, and I was gonna have to tell you that my car got stolen when I was at the gay bar.
was scared to come back into the fucking
And
bar.
I was like, this can't happen to me, because every time nothing happens to me for 29 years, and then I meet Joey, and then everything bad happens. I never get one sty. I get a sty coming back on the day of a podcast.
2 years of clean comedy, 1 year of improvised comedy, 1 more year of clean comedy, and then you could talk about sex. But then you're on the road in the car. So you're meeting different people. You're without Joey. You're in Montana. You're in Wyoming. You're in fucking Idaho. You're going to get notices that'll tell you don't curse because there's a Mormon audience tonight. What are you going to do? Didn't they tell you that in advance? They just book you, Lee. They book you. They go, all right, you're going to work August 7th through the 11th, which is Tuesday through Saturday, right? And then the week of the gig, they're going to email you and you're going to print it. And it's going to be a print out with the 5 gigs. And the first gig is going to say, you can't meet Blue as a feature act. And you're going to go, thank God Joey made me work clean for 2 years.
Is that what the store was for you guys? Like a training ground? Or was this just shit that
No.
you
This is my training ground was Tribble. My training ground was driving and Tribble. That's the training ground of killers. We'll talk to Tribble. If you need somebody to call Tribble, I'll call Tribble for you and get you and Fucko here in the car out there in the winter in January with ski tires on. When you got to get off stage, you're the only Mexican in Idaho in this part of my. They've never seen a Mexican. They touch you funny. Can I touch you? You ever see that episode of The Sopranos? What's this? What's Elvis land where there's no Jews and no Italians? That's where they send you to do comedy. So first of all, you got to go up on stage and go, hi, I'm Lisa Ann, I'm Jewish. Right away, you're losing half the audience. Like half the places where you go to the train, they've never seen a Jew. They'll come up to you later on and touch you. Like, man, I never touched a Jew before. My first Jew. It's hysterical. You know, when I was going to these places, people had never heard of a Cuban. And I was saying dumb jokes. I was like, I swam here in a 2x4, you know, shit like that, and they would love it. They would love it because that was their ideology of a Cuban. You know, I would talk about Desi Arnaz and stupid shit, and they would love it. That was my way of, I didn't know what to do then. I had no idea what to do, you know. The store, yes. The store was the second part of my education. The store, okay. When I walked into the comedy store, I was doing comedy, honestly, 5 years savagery and 3 years stupidity. It was, my first 2 years were there's a lot of comics in this town that, I'm a comic and they had a business card. I had a business card, you know.
You really did?
Yeah, I'm a comic and I told people. But I would always book these gigs, but I would get too coked up to get down there. So by the time the gig at 11, I would always cancel, so I was unreliable. And then I went to New York, and I did 9 months in New York. And at the New York Comedy Club, I kind of got it. I kind of got what it was. And then I saw something at this bar. I saw John Leguizamo performing, and that's when it all came to me. It takes you 3 years just for the whole mechanism to come to you. It takes years just for the combination to come to you. Once it comes to you and you set your plan on what you're going to do, that was what I did. Then everything, all the negative shit that you heard all your life went away. Like it all came to play. Somebody told you something once. And now comedy is living that. Like when I went to prison and they did the mental evaluation and all that, that guy told me, he goes, I kept asking him, because all the other inmates kept saying, what did your paperwork say? And I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, you don't want to know? You got to pay your attorney to find out. That's what the feds know about you and all this shit. And I forget what it's called. The first week you go to Canyon City, you go to a place where they do mental testing. Diagnostic. And what the diagnostic report said was that anything I wanted, that if I wanted something, I would take it. That And if I wanted something you had, I would take it, you know. And I remember when I came back from Colorado, and when I came back from New York after doing 9 months and just getting beat up. You know, 9 months in New York is an emotional beating as a comic. My second year. It was like, because it wasn't just the emotional beating. Lee has a degree. If at the end of 3 years, Lee doesn't like what happens, he goes back to fucking editing. He could run a podcast division. He could run a radio store now. I had no qualifications. Mm-hmm. Comedy was it, dog. I already had the felonies. I had 2 felonies, grade 2 felonies. Not everybody's looking, jumping on their way to hire you. And the little Mickey Mouse degree wasn't really going to do nothing for me. Once they investigated, they knew that my degree was going to be a Mickey Mouse. So I had no options. When I got into comedy, the only option was living in a car, traveling, and not answering to anybody. That was all I was good at doing, was not answering to anybody and living my own life. I could be there at 8. I could get up at 8 in the morning. I could do all that shit. But the drugs made me unreliable, you know. So when I walked into the store at the 8-year mark, I didn't know. It was like a re-education, if that's what you're asking me.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a re-education. And just like you, my spots were late, and Paul Mooney would come on at 12.
Fuck.
And when I left Seattle, somebody had came up to me one day and turned me on to the album called Race. When all that shit was going down with OJ and Nicole.
Oh, fucking.
And I could lie to you. I could lie to both of you in the audience and say that I've known about Paul Mooney all my life. I didn't know who Paul Mooney was till 1995. And I've been into Richard Pryor since 1975, 74. So I never knew who Paul Mooney was. And then I read a book. I read some book. And it mentioned Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor, and they wrote together. And then there was rumors that Paul Mooney blew Richard Pryor when he was coked out one night and shit like that. And just, you know, when he walked into the store, it was like this big legend. And I had his CD. And in those days, when you had somebody's cassette, that's what I had. I had a cassette. I thought those were the best 2. Like, I loved Delirious, and I loved Andrew Dice Clay's first album. But at that time, I was listening to The Night the Laughter Died.
Oh.
And Race. Those are 2 great comedy CDs for the 5-year comic to listen to. Fuck. The first-year comic cannot digest those 2 CDs, especially The Night the Laughter Died.
Oh my God, we listened to that, and I was like, the fucking balls to do this is insane. I was sitting there and I literally was like, there were moments where I would fucking cringe and just be like, what the fuck?
And that's the gift.
Not even just to do it, but to put it out.
Oh yeah, that was why we were like,
That's the gift. To make you go, oof, to make your Catholic. When I say half the fucking jokes I say, you don't think they ring my Catholicism bell? Are you
really
fucking crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Do you know that the first couple of years of my life, I couldn't do comedy in front of my really, 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 really good friends? Because I didn't want them to know I thought this way. Like, I would do shows in Jersey and bomb, eat dicks, bags, people that'll never even talk to me again. These people would leave embarrassed because I would freeze up in front of them. I never wanted them to know I had those thoughts.
Even though you had done drugs with them, and
I didn't want them to have these thoughts.
Yeah. I get that.
And then when I did a rock bar a couple of years ago, I ate a bag of dicks. Before I started working Gotham, I did this bar called something. Peter Fogel.
The Bitter End.
The Bitter End.
I've heard about that.
I did the Bitter End.
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I did the Bitter End. I had 170 people in there on a Tuesday night. And my friends were there from the 6th grade. And I could not go into my material, though. I'm trying to improvise. I'm getting red in the face. I could feel sweat beads going from the back of my head down my back onto my jeans. It was horrible. And then at the end, I almost got into a fight. I blamed a lot of shit that night. Hecklers. It was me. It was me that couldn't do that material in front of my dear friends. Now, I don't give a fuck. Like you, I thought a lot about you when I was shooting the special, and I thought about what I want, because everybody kept saying this is the first time people are going to see you in other countries and stuff, so you really want to introduce yourself. You know, bro, I missed the boat. This is all about just being funny. Don't introduce yourself. I don't have to say hello. I don't have to say goodbye. I don't have to tell you I'm gay. I don't have to tell you I'm an addict. I don't have to tell you I went to prison. I have one job as a comic, and that's to be fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's it. And we get confused. And I brought you on the show to thank you to your face for unconfusing me. You unconfused me about comedy. Like, now I know who I am by seeing you. When you're on stage, you're just a Kennison that's... Some people can't wait to tell you they're fucking gay. In today's society, I can't wait to tell you I got mental illness. Today, everybody wants to tell you they got something. I got PTSD. All those years of doing drugs with Joey gave me anxiety. Go shut your fucking mouth. Before you became gay, before you became a comic, before I became a felon, before I did anything, we were both men. Men. And we have an obligation as men. When you go up on stage and you're a Catholic man, especially with art, it's fucking hard in the beginning.
Fuck.
But if you look into, what do you think, Jesus, one of the apostles, didn't crack fucking jokes to Jesus from time to time? Is that they just don't tell you in the Bible, but that had to be one of those motherfuckers that had to go, you know, Jesus, what's up with the sandals? You know what I'm saying? The fuck, you know. You think Richard Pryor wrote that joke? I guarantee, what would you do if somebody actually told Jesus, don't you go down there messing with them Jews without no money? But it got passed down to Richard Pryor, like in Chicago, where he was growing up, in Moline, Chicago, wherever he grew up. You know, that's what it felt like. When I met Jesus, I met him on the railroad depot. I told him, don't go down there. Don't you go down there messing with them Jews without no money. The first time I heard that, I had to be 10, and I already knew what the fuck they were talking. What year did the Niggas Crazy come out?
I shouldn't be Googling this.
Oh.
It says it was released stacks in May of 1974, and then reprised in November 10th, 1975.
Yeah, look at this shit.
Bicentennial nigga, wow.
This is just too much to even
Jesus.
comprehend. Laugh your head off. This is even too much to fucking comprehend. I even got some Bob Newhart in here now.
Even like Cosby, himself.
Oh yeah, that was my first introduction to it.
I'll listen to that today, and it's like,
I
Jesus.
hated all that shit. I hated Cosby. But look at this. Look at this album cover. That nigga's crazy. The other night when he was on some show to promote this, and they said, I can't, the white woman goes,
Oh yeah, go ahead,
I can't even
say it.
say the word. And he goes, the nigga's crazy. Look at this. Look at the names of the jokes. I hope I'm funny. Nigga with a seizure. Have your ass home by 11. Black and white lifestyle. The Exorcist. Wino dealing with Dracula. Flying saucers. The back down. Black man, white woman. Niggas versus the police. Wino versus junkie. Richard Pryor. This album is brilliant. Is it something I said? Eulogy. Shortage of white people. New niggas. Cocaine. Just us. Mudbone intro. Then the side two is Mudbone Little Feets. When your woman leaves you. The Goodnight Kiss. Women are beautiful. And our text for today. And then Bicentennial Niggas Classic. This is one that I got thrown out of Ray Canella's house for.
What?
Oh my God, I brought this to his house. Black Hollywood. Mudbone Goes to Hollywood. Chinese Restaurant. Acid. Bicentennial Nigga. This is it, guys. Hillbilly, Black and White Women, Our Gang, and Bicentennial Prayer. This is my fucking childhood. 1976. He would release one of these every fucking year.
See, that was.
But see, you could do that because You could tape these. You could tape these in 10 weeks. Nobody would know. It's sides, and they would just put them together. So it would take me a month to tape. You got a month to tape a fucking album.
Jesus.
Every night I go out and do 20 minutes, and you tape it until we got an hour. That's it. That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm bringing it right back to vinyl and fucking cassette. I'm not doing no more specials. I'm done. Never again.
Yeah.
Yeah. This should be out in like October. They told me Degenerates. Lee's been help edit it. We made it look as good as we can. It's not my best work by far. I wish I had more Eric Rocha, the balls of Eric Rocha in there. But somewhere along the line I got scared and I forgot who the fuck I am. So just thank you for reminding me of who the fuck I am, and keep doing what you're doing. If the name of the Netflix thing is Degenerates, you and Lee will be having dates on the Degenerate Tour 2018, 2019. And that's it, man. You really make me laugh. If you guys are out there listening, I don't know if you have a webpage.
Yeah, EricRochaComedy.com.
EricRochaComedy.com. It's funny that I go to cryotherapy, and you told me you were going to Gay Pride, so out of respect for you, every time I went to cryotherapy, Gay Month, I put on Madonna, Burn It Up. And the guys would go, why do you listen to Madonna? Why do you listen to Madonna?
Have respect.
And I go, because I have respect for Gay Pride Month. And they would just look at me at the cryo place and look at each other and go, what the fuck is wrong with him? So after Gay Pride, I went back to Biggie Warning, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to keep them honest with Madonna burning up like a virgin, and Physical Attraction drives fucking gay people crazy when you put Madonna on, doesn't it? They go fucking bananas. Especially the Beverly Hills gay community, they go fucking nuts. It's funny, I have a friend in Hollywood, and she's a comic. Not anymore. She's a drunk, and I love her dearly, but we don't chat anymore because she's too much of a drunk. But she's really part of a big gay. She goes to Pride. She does all that stuff. And she introduced me to a lot of gay guys. And I like 30% of them in Hollywood, because I think that they were doing it for all the wrong reasons. Like I know what a gay guy acts like. I've been around them all my life. My mom at the bar, my thing and money going. I loved him. I loved him because he used to tell me stories about music. He was Cuban, and he knew about the Ramones, and fucking, he had gone to see the Allman Brothers. He said he sold
crazy.
coke to one of the Allman. Yo le vendí perico. I said, ese tipo un periquero. He used to always tell me all these stories about coke he would sell to. But he would always go see the Ramones. Was it the Ramones and shit like that? There were CBGBs and punk bands.
Yeah, CBGBs, I think.
My mom used to always say, you like my thing and money. Go, don't ever come home with a story, because I'll bust your fucking head, and I'll bust his fucking head too. But my mother always loved Martin the Fag. But Eric, I got to tell you something. I just wanted to bring you on the podcast to thank you. You said to me one night, again, back to the conversation, you said that there's a lot of comics that don't shake your hand.
There was one that didn't like the gay material I was doing, and he said, I'm not shaking your fucking hand. What you just said, that's disgusting.
Was he gay or straight?
He was straight.
And you said something to me that you thought I would like you.
I did. When I first met you, it was like, because I had felt bad, and it was one of those things where in West Hollywood, I was like, am I saying faggot too much? Am I because the one thing I didn't want to do is I didn't want to hurt, my community, because like it or not, those are my that's my brothers and sisters right there. So I was like, all right, maybe I need to back off that. What the fuck am I doing here? It's not like they ostracized me. They were just saying, why do you have to say faggot so much? And for me, it was like, that's what I grew up around. Like, that's what I heard, and it didn't mean what it meant to you when you heard it, because it was such a thing where it was like, listen, that is what, like, if we weren't working fast enough, I remember my Uncle Barry said, come on, you fucking faggot, and we, fuck you, I can now work, and it was like, okay, and I get what they mean by, how it can be derogatory, and I get that, but like I said, I want a gay joke that everybody can fucking laugh at. That's what I really want. Like that joke that you were referencing, that to me is something where I'm like, okay, I think everybody can understand this fucking situation
But all
that I
your
was
jokes
in.
are real, correct?
Yeah,
When
absolutely.
you say these stories on stage and you add your spin to them,
Absolutely.
you're writing your life.
I had to text somebody to let him know where I was the night I did that. I banged that Saudi Arabian guy because I was worried. I was like, hey, if this is a fucking trick, you need to know where the fuck my last thing was, and like, I can't go missing. I'll text you, and you know the guy that I'll text. I'll tell you who it was after the show.
You know, it's crazy because I admire you. I admire you because at 55, I have no fucking life. I have 0 friends like that I do shit with during the week. And one night I called him up and I go, where are you and Eric? And he goes, Eric got out of the car. He went on some gay app and he just started walking. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do that. Just get on a fucking app and meet somebody on Magnolia Boulevard at 2 a.m. You know, and it's just the balls you have, the safety. You know, when I got into comedy because of Lenny Bruce. And now I'm the farthest fucking thing from Lenny Bruce. Like, I'm scared to go out past midnight, Eric. Like, who's the fucking fag in this room? Who is it? It's Joe Diaz. You know, I told Lee last week, Lee, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to call in for spots at midnight at the store. And then I went home and started thinking about it. I got to drive home at 12:40 up over that hill. Shit could happen, dog. I ain't going to go out. Who's become the fag? I have. And this is what I got to get out of. I got to get out of this. I told him, I go, all this shit changes. This shit changes when he hits 30. I'm getting out of this road, you know. I'm back at the store. I'm going back to the store. I'm going back to the store.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going back to the store.
Maybe that's the last one.
Because that's not the last one. I'm just getting warmed up. Let me tell you something. I'm going back to the store because that's where I belong. This little pussyfooting I was doing of going to Flappers and the fourth wall has to come to an end. I got to go down there. That's why I was just tipping around like I always do. I have the same problems you people do at home. I procrastinate too, but I do enough to get by and to fool everybody. And I don't fool me. I don't fool me, and it eats me all up inside. So that's it. Now I'm going to the store. No, that's it. I'm going to the store because I know I would hate to go to the store because I would hate to bomb. I'm going down there from now on to bomb. Like the other night, you know what I do? Let me tell you how scared I am of life. When I drive to do comedy, you know I don't put the radio on in the car on the way there.
Really?
You want to talk about people being fags? You want to talk about gay men? Even gay guys listen to the radio before a gig because they're fucking excited. Not me. It's in my head. And I had to get out of my head. When I went to Vegas and I realized that both nights I had done 50 minutes effortlessly, I was so happy.
Really?
No material. Let's go. Like the old days. If we get to it, we get to it. And if we don't, we don't. I'm going to talk about what's on my mind and my heart from now on, whether you like it or not.
Fuck yeah.
We do a half hour of it. Then we go back to material. We tiptoe around the material. But I'm a lot better when I'm not scared. I'm working the last 2 years scared.
Maybe that was your cell phone in a way that was blocking you.
Yeah. Oh, no. Like I told Lee, I got out of prison in 89. I didn't get on stage till 91. Took me 2 years because I knew it was going to change my life. But I would cancel on Tuesday at 4. I'm coming down tonight. I'm kind of fucking sick. I don't feel good. When we know something's going to change our life, we become such fucking pussies. It's ridiculous. When something's going to change my life, I become the biggest fucking pussy in the world. We all do. And then we have the balls to complain about this, or talk about this, or talk about that. So if you're scared to do something because it's going to change your life, go for it. Whether it's addiction, whether it's whatever the fuck it is. Because I do the same thing. But that was the reason why I wanted to have you on, man. You're a fucking powerhouse. I think you're going to be a household name in a few years.
Wow.
And I'm happy you're friends with Lee. I'm happy that you take care of him.
Yeah.
I'm
Love
happy
you, buddy.
Took him under your wing. You know, he's gonna have to suck your dick eventually. Don't worry. Paul Mooney sucked Pryor's dick, and I still love him. You know what I'm saying? That's still my idol.
I'm not his type. Every time I
Shut up, cocksucker. You're everybody's type. You're short, cute, naive, and you don't know nothing about nothing. I can have a deaf mute talk you into sucking his dick.
He is, though. He's got the fucking biggest heart.
That's it. They'll tit fuck
you're
you.
lovable.
They'll heart fuck you. They'll fuck you in the heart. They'll just
Why
take
you give him all these ideas, Joey?
And you'll why you my
I
ideas,
fucking
though?
tried, Lee.
Oh my God. Don't forget, you bad motherfuckers. This weekend, we're in Utah. It's sold out with Kate Quigley. But August 9th through the 11th, I will be at the beautiful Improv in Kansas City with my man, Dean Dell. I got some bad news to report to you people tonight, but it's good news also. Number one, I want to talk to you people about something from the heart here, all right? We all got problems. Some people erection, some people hair, some people... Listen, to every problem, there's a solution. And I got the solution for you people tonight. 66% of men lose their hair by the age of 35. Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair that you've lost. Let me ask you something. Have you seen more forehead than ever before? Has someone mentioned to you that you have a bald spot that wasn't there before? Have you noticed a pile of hair in your brush or your comb that you've never noticed before? Have you fixed your hair lately and just said, where the hell is my hair gone? Listen, thanks to science, baldness can be an option now. The solution, forhims.com, forhims.com, capital F and capital H. A one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss without having to break the bank. Well-known generic equivalents to name brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair, FDA-approved prescription solutions backed by science. There's no waiting rooms, there's no awkward doctor visits, and you save hours by going to forhims.com. What you're going to do is you're going to answer a few quick questions, upload some photos, and the doctor will prescribe you some prescription meds that you need. Products are shipped directly to your door. There's no middlemen here. For Him has even shared real before and after Instagram photos posted by actual clients on that are awesome. All right, let me see. They said, let me see where you can find these. Yeah. So before and after pictures that look just beautiful. People are, listen, do me a favor. Why are we beating around the bush, all right? I have a lot of friends that suffer from male pattern baldness and it eats them up alive. It's over with. I want the church family to get a trial month of Hims for $5 today, right now, while supplies last. Go to the website, forhims.com, forhims.com/Joey. This would cost you hundreds if you went to a doctor or a pharmacy. I'm going to save you a bunch of money because that's what Uncle Joey does. $5 today. Go to forhims.com/Joey. Again, go to forhims.com/Joey. You got a problem? We got the solution. forhims.com/Joey. I'm going to read you something. I'm going to talk to you people about something that's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Anyway, you definitely heard me talk about MeUndies before. You know the fun, they're comfy undies that feel as good as they look. To those of you who haven't tried them yet, listen up. You can get incredible underwear sent right to your door with MeUndies, meaning no more hunting around for the perfect pair at a crowded store and eventually selling for good enough. MeUndies are made with a sustainable source material with beechwood trees. Their naturally soft fiber makes a fabric that won't sag down or ride up like those fucking white underwear you wear with skid marks and all that shit. You get that Nutra cup that sits there. Trust me, once you put a pair of MeUndies on, you'll get it. Listen to me. I've been wearing MeUndies for 7 years now. They're the best underwear in the market. They keep you clean. They keep you moist. Your balls smell good. Everything's no rashes, no heat rash in this 100-degree weather. MeUndies so sure that you'll love the first pair that if you're not happy, they'll do whatever the hell they can to make it right, and they'll get you the right pair. And if they can't, you keep them and they'll refund you the money. Who else does that? It's risk-free to try the best underwear ever. Now, if you're already part of the MeUndies family, tell your friends about it through their referral program. They'll get a discount and you get store credit. So it's a win-win for everybody. You're still not sure? Let me tell you what I'm going to do. My first-time purchases, the church, you're going to get 15% off the first pair of MeUndies and free shipping. Why? Because that's how Uncle Joey does it. That's 15% off plus free shipping plus a guarantee that MeUndies will be and you will be happy together. Get your butt over to MeUndies.com and treat yourself, all right? Get 15% off your first pair, free shipping. Go to MeUndies.com/Joey. Again, that's MeUndies.com/Joey. I want to thank my new favorite comic, Mr. Eric Rocha, my main Jew, the Christ killer. But most importantly, I want to thank the best audience in the world, you guys, for listening and for taking this fucking journey with me for the last couple of years. I love you guys with all my heart. Like I told you, I'll be in Utah. We'll be back Monday morning, ready to fucking percolate, ready to rock your world, all right? I love you guys. I love you, Eric Rocha.
Love you, Jim.
I love you, Lee Syatt. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe and stay black. Kansas City, here we come. Kick that fucking mule, Lee.